Alright, so, Anno 2205 is one of the games that I actually liked the most out of the ones they made. Even a little bit more than 1800. Mostly because 1800, probably would like it more than this one if I didn't have to pay for DLC, which maybe one or two. Not the 100 or however much they've done. It's more DLC than Hearts of Iron 4, which is saying something. Anyways, then I saw a mod for it that looked fairly interesting, so I want to give it a go. You can see here I've got a level 1 company. It's just I loaded into the game just to make sure I had everything properly figured out. I didn't want to just do it completely blind, but for the most part it was. This will be a relatively fresh experience.
I'm glad you accepted my invitation. Samantha Beaumont, Global Union Supervisor of the Lunar Licensing Program. We have a lot to discuss. But first, I'd like to introduce you to your Artificial Data Amalgamating Messenger.
Thank you for participating in the Lunar Licensing Program. The program stipulates that your corporation set up operative spaceports to act as bases for a new wave of lunar colonization. You will further assist Global Union in the development of a fusion energy reactor to avert Earth's impending energy crisis.
Alright, so as far as a corporation name, well, I think channel name plus mod name. Duns Horizons.
Thanks, but I need to see your corporate logo as well, for identification purposes.
And I don't have all of these because achievement points I've gotten and use of club stuff. I haven't 100% of the game, so I don't have all of them, but I have a decent amount. Let's go with this.
My superiors at the Global Union had reservations about you, but I've convinced them. They even decided to allocate you high-grade territory for new corporate headquarters. Choose a sector.
And now, despite my reservations about her secretly being evil, she's not lying, at least as far as this is concerned, about these being pretty good territory, all things considered. They even have little unique specialties, not just in these quests you can do, some of which are more helpful than others. They also have randomized modifiers. For example, climate change. Due to regulations, heavy industries aren't as good, but all farms are better. Over here, silicon is just better. Over here, tidal power plants are just better. I don't think I would end up using that though. Tidal power plants are good, but everything else in the water isn't. Really bad. Diamond mines,
Just
pretty
straightforward,
good,
really.
but
Nothing to ponder over long.
it is worth pondering over. But anyways, as I was saying, diamonds are somewhat later on though, not something to worry about in the beginning. Fine living, all production is bad, but employees need less. So you'll have less, and you'll need less. But for the time being, Silicon's also sort of a later game thing, so I'll just go with this one to start off with. Although these are particularly good. You might want to, honestly, if I was doing this just for funsies, I would re-roll. But no, we'll stick with what we've been told.
Almost there. We just have to negotiate the terms of your contract with Global Union, funding conditions, and the like.
So we'll go with
You have change requests?
oops.
Almost there. We just
we'll go veteran, but I'll modify a few things. So, for one thing, there's... Where is it? Oh yes, enemy invasions. I don't like the fleet mechanic, so I'm turning that off. Then... Calamities is fine. Hidden containers, this just speeds things up. It doesn't give you free money. Occasionally you can find a few construction materials. Just speeds up the game. Helpful when setting up a new area. And then, just in case I misclick, I'll turn relocate on. And then, that should be good.
You are now entering Phase 1 of the Lunar Licensing Program. The Global Union assigned you territory in Earth's temperate region to establish a spaceport and a base of operations. The construction of a space elevator to Global Union headquarters is also required. For further instructions, speak to your official contact person. Global Union wishes you success.
Wide meadows and towering mountains. And soon you will add an impressive skyline to the picture. But stay attentive. I was informed a Big Five company has been monitoring the ruined dam for quite some time now. This could turn out beneficial for you at some point, but your prime objective is to raise a spaceport here. The spaceport building site off the coast is still unstaffed, but as soon as you've built the necessary housing, the construction team will be moving in.
So, basically, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on the map. Not relevant at the moment. First thing to do, get some residences. Now, unlike other games, there is no marketplace mechanic. If you want to build houses, just connect them by road, and they can obtain their goods instead of having to physically walk. They can instead choose to simply order same-day delivery. Now, can I afford the maintenance costs for my stuff here? No.
Building material shortages shouldn't be an issue anymore.
But as mentioned, I do need the building materials.
Under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
Yes. They do need more services, but if you're aware of how this game works, you might notice that their requests are a little bit different. So, water is normal, but not this early. Rice is normally known as organic food, and it's earlier. And then services is also very early. Urbanization, that's new. Electricity, that's new. You might notice I'm already almost out because they keep demanding it. I'm going to have to build this right on top of their house. And now, this is where the hidden crates thing I enabled comes in. Instead of waiting around, I'll just click that. 2 biopolymers. Five biopolymers. 1 biopolymer. That's why I say it's really not free money. I would not be able to sell those for any amount of money, really. So, set up a wind turbine off in the corner. that. Picked up. Need more workers? No problem. I just so happen to need more money. Oops. I forgot about these two being in that sort of grid. Okay, so we've got electricity, water, and rice. So the next logical step is to keep cramming workers into these houses. Now, for being a level 1, they're really not that bad. Everyone's got their own hover car, they've got whatever all this stuff's supposed to be. You know, they're not living that bad. Of course, things could be better. They're eating rice with no seasoning and drinking water also without any seasoning. But it's clean water.
Construction options expanded.
Straight from a local desalination plant. And electricity they're enjoying is straight from a local wind park. Although, production of biopolymers is slowing a little bit, so I'll just get something set up. And then, this is one of the reasons why I like this Anno game. It's extremely obvious what your production is, because you don't have to physically go to a warehouse. It's incredible. If 1800 had this, I would actually play it more. Like, it's that good. I can sort of see the vision for why they don't do it like that, but it's just so convenient. I want it. And then these sorts of expansions are also, again, very much not how the game usually works. Usually you would have to go a lot farther into the whole thing to get those expansions, but that's lame, so we're skipping all that. Okay, next up, a community center.
Times like these, it's important to always remember, especially with terrorists on our very doorstep.
Now you might, if you're familiar with this game, you might notice that this is not an info dome. Again, modded. I think if I'm reading the information right, the services it produces are a flat amount it will always produce. Urbanization is how close it is to people, kind of like how communications normally is. And then, for the sake of plot, I do have to get some of them.
You've assembled construction crews and ground personnel faster than I was expecting. You are more than ready for the first major project. The program demands you connect your city with the Global Union Space Station via a space elevator. So far, only megacorps like the Big Five use such technology. But I'm sure you have the same potential.
That's cool and all, but I'm currently focused on something far more important. The 5-year industrial plan.
Good. You've gathered the components needed for the elevator. Only the elevator cable requires special materials you can't produce, but I arranged for a delivery.
Ah, yes, the delivery. This is what introduces. That's what's supposed to introduce us to the mechanic. And this is the warehouse. I vastly prefer this mechanic, to be honest. Oh, but yeah, that's supposed to introduce us to the whole ship combat thing, which is mandatory for Anno games, but I don't like. And why don't I like it? It's simple. It's not about your ships, it's about power-ups you find. And if you don't get the good one, too bad. I just set these up, but I'm already going to demolish because... Boom, 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 boom. These are far more space efficient for one simple reason. Look at the road layout. I don't have to put one in the middle. They can just walk. Oh, it's so much better. I'll have to connect up like that. No, don't promote. Currently planning on bulldozing everything.
Congratulations. You achieved
I know. I'm kind of an evil villain.
workforce too low to meet production requirements.
But I have to do it for the sake of the New World Order and the United Nations. And already trees are trying to regrow. No, I'm a megacorp. This might be an environmentally friendly megacorp due to certain practical considerations, but it's still a megacorp at the end of the day. Alright. Let's see, any resources? A bit more rice. And then remember, all factories are worse. That includes this. I think that includes this, which is why the numbers aren't quite where I'd want them to be. But oh well, so. Yes, apparently you can get that voice line twice if you just demolish and then re-upgrade. Which is hilarious. I'm sure my people will be fine with living next to this. I'm absolutely sure of this. You see, requires
Market share has increased.
services, and then requires services again. But we can get more services. It's fine. What's most important is entering into an electricity shortage.
Construction in building times
So, we need a vitamin condenser. This normally just requires fruit, but now we also need a nutrient processor, which requires algae, which, coincidentally, there is a site right over here. And I might remember algae as a much later acquired resource. True. Normally it is not nearly this early. But have you considered that it kind of gets old just mindlessly spamming a fruit plantation and then a vitamin drink? Fruit plantation, vitamin drink.
I knew there was something going on here. Meet Papadakis, Papadakis Enterprises. You want a good deal? Just come to my warehouse.
A clever move, seeing to your staff's good health. Benefits like that make you a more attractive employer.
The glazing is crazy. Look, advisor lazy. Lady, I mean, not lazy. Whoops, forwarded slip. Advisor woman. Like, look, I get you're really excited. But sometimes being a little too enthusiastic isn't quite what the guy's after. And it's not gonna work. Oh yes, I forgot about these. Let's just move that there. It says -2 services, but oh, that's because I have some in storage. Well, the natural solution is just place down another one. Although this does mean I don't quite have the workers for it.
So, right then. How's things?
I just need to wait.
Expansion of workforce.
I expand this. It goes from 20 people in it to about 48.
Someone working for a company?
16 workforce to 20, as long as I have the vitamin drinks. However, an important part of having the vitamin drinks is having the workforce to run the vitamin drinks. I may or may not actually have the workforce to run the vitamin drinks, but if I don't have the vitamin drinks, I won't have the workforce. So... it's fine. I have storage to get me through this
Not bad here,
time
for the most part.
while the workforce climbs up. Now, what's my most expensive use of workforce?
Warning. Workforce
60, that's nothing.
production.
60, that's fine. 40, acceptable. 40, again, acceptable. 13, similar. 75, 80, 50, 30. It's a fruit plantation. But I can't build a drone rack because I don't have drones, which is a change the mod made. Normally, I would actually just be able to spam those out, but nope.
Missions are ready. Start the elevator construction once all other requirements are met. My associate, John Rafferty, is already heading here with the special material deliveries.
Well, these things will sort of balance themselves out.
Yeah, Rafferty here. Miss Bowman assigned me to ensure the transport's safety. Approaching your sector. We're under attack, comrade. Damn it. A cargo. Protect the ship.
People of Earth, this is the manifesto of the moon's independence. The global union waged war on us for generations with weapons like falsehood, negligence, exploitation. And the LEC bowed its head in servile defiance. Not anymore. Set no foot on the land of our forefathers. We are the orbital watch. The moon is free.
They attacked us out of nowhere, somebody.
Yeah,
No time to study regulations. Meet Rafferty at the coordinates.
Attention. Under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
the thing about Orbital Watch being so goofy is that it's just. You can go to the moon later. It's poor. They cannot survive without shipments from Earth, the people that you put there. Why should I assume that the Orbital Watch guys also don't need resources from Earth? I'm sure they do. I am absolutely sure they need shipments from Earth. So the question is, how are they getting the money? Like, where's the money coming from? Where's my money? Where is the money? Like, it's just goofy. You're telling me they can afford not only aquatic vessels, but the cost to transport them to Earth. And they couldn't afford a McChicken. That's what they're upset about. The obvious answer is that they're just lying. They're not actually from the moon. They're just using it as an excuse.
I'm glad you came back unharmed. This attack gave everyone at the Union headquarters shock, but the program has to go on. We've lost contact with lunar excavation. It seems many new colonies along with the orbital watch.
Yeah, it's not about the aligned with Orbital Watch, it's that they are Orbital Watch. They're just using Orbital Watch as an excuse to not have to, you know,
I'm way too old for adventures like that.
pay money.
So you better make sure you got a decent battlefield. Stop by the dockyard if you want any ships built or revamped and that.
So now here's the health food, which gets further refined into fine food, which is what's actually
Is there
requested.
something the matter at work?
They used to call it sushi back in the day. If I supply this, I don't have the workforce or anything else really to worry about that. Let's just get this up and running.
Congratulations! The first step into space. All reviews of the global economy are now accessible for you. Phase 2 of the Lunar Licensing Program starts now.
So yeah, Overwatch is literally just corporate wars, shenanigans,
In the Arctic, all your actions
and
fall
then
under the
we've
same
got a
rules.
space station. What do we do with it?
Let's have a look at their territory.
The stock market. Anyways, over here we do still have one unresolved demand,
Is there something
sushi,
the matter at work?
but the other two we can't make here, in case you haven't noticed. So while I could worry about making fine food, let's go hang out with polar bears.
Summon.
And this has the same sort of randomized modifiers, and there's a regional quest. I haven't interacted with the one back at base, simply because, well, they're rather long. And I'll save that for next time. Let's look at what these are. Due to heavy snowfall, our logistics is just abysmal. It's just bad. +3, it adds up. It really adds up. This region just doesn't pay good wages, so people don't work as good. This region produces more geothermal electricity.
Opening locations in additional sectors will improve your prospects on the market. Think about it.
It's also shaped like a fishy.